Hey folks, William here from Podcast 17, and today I'm going to do a Let's Play of Half-Life 1. And we're going to start this episode 1, with the training room. Not even Half-Life 1, just the training room. And I'm going to show you a few things that you may or may not know about the training room. So of course, there's a couple names for this. There's training room, hazard course, call it what you will.
Hello and welcome to the Black Mesa Hazard Course, where you will be trained in the use of the hazardous environment suit. I am your holographic assistant. Let's begin by stepping into your suit. You can see it suspended up ahead of you. If you see one of these buttons, press it, and I will appear to demonstrate certain moves.
Alright, so the first thing is this chick here talking to us, the instructor. You actually play as her in Decay, which we'll be getting to a little bit later. And of course, like she said, you can just you can keep having her repeat. Anyway, so this is the famous HEV suit, and this is the first time in the whole series when you hear this very long speech.
For use in hazardous environment conditions.
Although you'll notice that it's cut short than it is in the beginning of Half-Life 1. In Half-Life 1, it goes through the whole spiel, where it goes for use in hazardous environments, high impact, reactive armor activated, blah blah blah. But in the training course, it's shorter. So there's that. Yeah, falling down there will kill you. For some reason that door didn't open. That was really strange. Anyway.
Moving around in your HEV suit can be slightly disorienting at first. Take a moment to familiarize yourself with basic movement, and soon it will fit you like a second skin. I will see you just around the corner.
Okay, so the next thing is actually this room. And I guess shoutouts go to... I gotta get this guy's name because I got a lot of this from him. I will find it. I promise you this. Shoutouts go to Portal Storm TO. Yeah, that's his name on YouTube. Who actually has a good YouTube video about all this. But you can actually fall down here, which most of you already know. And you'd think you'd be stuck, but you're not. If you continue down the sewer into here, through here, up this ladder, you actually come out on this side, which is by this door. Won't open. Just to give you an idea where we are, this is where the instructor just was. So you can basically head on over. Oh shit, I fell. So that's another good reason to have it. You can jump that.
First move we will practice in the hazard course is basic jumping. You will attempt to get over this set of pipes using only your run and jump commands. It helps to get a running start. Watch me and then try it yourself.
It's really neat how Valve did all these animations, because if you know anything about mapping in Valve Hammer, you actually have to line everything up perfectly. And it'd be really interesting to see how the animators just did something as simple as this back in 1998, where they just had to make Gina jump over these brushes, but in reality, when they're animating it, maybe these brushes don't exist, or they don't know the spacing, because the map and the model are two totally separate entities, more or less. It's just interesting to think about. There's of course a scientist up there who watch you as you go around, which is also interesting because in Portal, a game released much later by Valve, you actually get a sense of this as well in the testing chambers, sort of like an all-seeing eye behind this frosted glass of people watching you as you go through their tests.
Good work. Those new suits can be tricky. Please proceed to the next area.
You will now duck under the next set of obstacles. Please note that crouching will automatically shift your suit into stealth mode, minimizing movement noise.
Another interesting thing is the whole stealth mode thing, which wasn't really implemented in Half-Life 1, where, you know, crouching to go into stealth mode, quote unquote, is supposed to make you quieter, but really in the game it doesn't make a difference when you're fighting against at least human grunts later on in the series. It also begs the question, like, was this something that Valve planned on implementing in the game but just didn't get around to it, or maybe it was a scrapped feature? Anyway, we're going to get through this.
Very good. I hardly noticed you. On to the next area.
Now we will combine skills. You will need to jump, duck, and then jump again. This will prepare you for the next room, where you will have to do both moves at the same time.
Okay, so
Good work. You look prepared for the next.
To get into these pipes, you will have to signal your suit to make a duck jump. You'll want to stand right at the mouth of the pipe and continue to press forward. Then jump up, and while you're in midair, go into a crouch. It's tricky, but you'll find it comes in handy.
So the jump crouch is interesting too, because a mechanic like this never really existed in 1998. We really just had jumping and crouching, and really we never used them together in conjunction to do sort of climb. So as you can see right here, I can't really get through this pipe without doing a jump crouch, obviously. So I mean, we're all used to it now. We can do it in seconds. Actually, when most jumps we do nowadays involve the jump crouch. I just want to show you one more thing. You can actually get on top of the whole thing, avoid all the pipes, and still get through because the door was still open. I'm just trying to find the area. So there's a clip here. There's a clip there. Maybe if I go all the way back. No, maybe not. Maybe if I get on top. No, I don't know how to do it. I'm sure it's easy though. We're just gonna finish this up.
Nice job.
So we go through the pipe again for one more jump crouch.
Walk directly into the ladder, look up, and continue moving forward. If you want to come back down, just move backward.
So the ladders are interesting too. I got something to say about everything apparently. You can go up and down just normally like this by using up and down, but you actually go faster if you hold both forward and strafe. So you'll see me doing that a lot in my Let's Plays, because I'm just so used to it. So I never really go the classic way up and down, because it's too slow for me. You strafe up it, and you get a lot more velocity out of it.
The next 3 jumps get harder each time, but they are quite possible.
I remember when I was a kid, and I had such a hard time with this
one more style of
when I was younger. But obviously now, after you've had so much practice, you can just, I mean, you get them every time easily. And yeah, if you fall, there's ladders here.
If you keep falling short, you might be jumping too soon.
And she gives you little hints, which is nice, especially for new players, a training course like this.
Long jumping requires its own charging module, seen here. To activate your long jump, you will have to duck and move forward, and then launch into a jump. Once you're up on the platform, press the button and I will demonstrate the move.
So this is something that a lot of new Half-Life players who haven't played Half-Life 1, aren't really custom with, or people who haven't really tried the training course and haven't got to Zen in Half-Life 1, because you really don't use the jump module until very late on the game. But of course it's a simple technique. You just crouch jump like this and you jump. It's just basically a crouch jump while holding forward, and you do a long jump. And she's going to demonstrate just like that.
Nice job.
So now that we have the jump module, you can actually glitch out most of the, or skip most of the training course. Like for example, just get up here. Really weird stuff. I mean, that's not weird, but you'll see. I'll show you later on.
Please start the lift by moving up to the button, looking at it, and pressing the use key.
So this is a demonstration in getting hurt, basically, which I never agreed with. from Valve,
There's
because
only
like
one way down. Find the target on the floor below and do your best to hit it. If you take any damage from the fall, we will administer medical care at the next station.
which I never really understood, because Valve is infamous for making sure that you don't really make stupid mistakes. But as you can see, I already have 93 health. I don't have 100 health. So what if a player at one time, makes a lot of mistakes or does really stupid stuff, and then dies from this jump? I never really agree with, at least give some health maybe before, just in case, for those players. But anyway, the idea here is that you're supposed to jump on these boxes and then, or you're supposed to jump on the target and get on the thing. But it's fine. It's kind of fun to jump on the boxes, which still hurt you. And also, on that vein, you can actually jump from here using the long jump to here. I won't demonstrate it, but you can definitely do it and not lose any health, because you can just slowly fall in these little slits and then fall on the ground.
You will find med kits like this one throughout the Black Mesa compound. To restore your health, walk up to a med kit and press your use key. Your health will recover gradually until you are at full health or the kit is depleted. Once the light goes out, a med kit cannot be reused.
Medkits are interesting too, because it's really a brushed-based entity, not a model-based entity that is giving you health, which is also something new in 1998. Really, like in games like Quake and Doom, you had these little power-ups on the ground, and you just run over them and go doo-doom, 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 you get all this health. But in Half-Life, where you still have the medkits on the ground, you also have the health stations. And an interesting feature with the health stations is that in Half-Life 2, they still have them, except now in Half-Life 2 they go a lot faster, and they recharge almost exponentially, so you don't have to sit here waiting for it to deplete, and with the HEV chargers, which we'll see in a second as well.
To spin that bridge, walk up to the control wheel and press the use key.
Alright, so this is the bridge puzzle. The idea here is that you're supposed to spin the bridge, like so, and then, jump across. But I'm going to show you a different way of doing it. And that is just like that. I'm ignoring the bridge altogether. It's interesting because it's not a hard jump. It's a really easy jump to do. It's not like I'm doing anything crazy, so something that Valve clearly missed as well. But if you fall, you can obviously get back.
Sometimes you'll need to rely on more than just your suit to get through a tight place. Try jumping this gap on your own.
Environment
What
interaction.
you really need to do
sorry.
is push that box down into the pit. Pushing is easy. Just move forward against the box and you can push it into position.
Are you done talking? There we go. Environment interaction is another really interesting thing that was introduced in Half-Life. Like I said again, in Doom and Quake and games before it, you didn't have areas where you can literally push the environment around any way you wanted or in any direction, which added a whole new complexity to these types of games. By the way, you can jump that, but we're just going to push it in here, just like that, and that's what you're supposed to do.
If you can't push the obstacle out of your way, you might try pulling it. To pull a box, move up to it and press your use key. While holding down the use key to keep a grip on the box, move slowly backward. The box will come along with you.
One thing that I want to talk about is cockroaches. That's a cockroach. It's an interesting ambience that they've added to the game. Even something as simple as a training course, they've added these cockroaches. And you'll see them throughout the game. You can hear them. That was their clicking sound. You can step on them once I catch up. And he blows up into little slime bits, which is cool because it adds that extra element. And by the way, you don't need to crouch. You don't need to pull this either. You can jump on top of the button. I'm really not doing so well today. What is wrong with me? And anyway, I'm not going to do it. I'm too tired. But anyway, you can jump on the box instead of having to pull it out. And then of course there's this puzzle where you just push all the boxes together. My God, I'm just embarrassing myself. And then you get up here. You can also get up there by just simply wha-bam like that, which is really cheap. And then you can even climb up on top of this stuff. Well, all sorts of really cool things.
Finally, if nothing else works, you can try breaking the objects in your path. Make sure you picked up the crowbar, then simply smash your way through the debris.
Once again, you don't really need to smash your way through the debris. You can just do one of those, but it's fun to go smashy, right? I think you can smash a table too, yeah. And break that vent, which we will be seeing lots of in these Let's Plays. Head up the ladder. Another cockroach.
Activate your suit flashlight for the next area.
So flashlight is cool. It's not new in any sense to any games, but and you get the aux power here too, which is extremely interesting because in Half-Life 1 your flashlight does not drain your aux power, meaning your armor. It drains your flashlight battery, which is in the top right. And it's strange that Valve would give you aux power or batteries at the beginning of the flashlight bit and throughout the flashlight bit. There's one there, there's another one here, and so on and so forth. So it begs the question again, did Valve originally intend to have the flashlight drain your armor, your aux power, or have the aux power generate the flashlight? And then if you think about it even further, you might remember in Half-Life 2, the flashlight did drain your sprint. I mean, we can't sprint right now. We're always sprinting. But in Half-Life 2, it drained your sprint, and then in later on they removed that feature. So it seems like it's something that Valve really battles with, whether or not aux power should drain your flashlight, or flashlight should drain your sprint, or should it drain your armor, or whatever. It's just cool to see all these little things left over in Training Room that is possible that Valve originally intended to use. I don't know if you can. I think this might be clipped. Yeah, this is clipped. You can't actually get up there. We're gonna try something else. I know you can in Half-Life Source, which is the Source remake. Oh my God. Which is the Source remake of Half-Life 1. In the Source engine, you can get up there. But you can get up there through this way, I think. And then up. No, it's clipped. So, in the Source version, you can get up there and kill the Barney there and grab his gun. Or just party with him, if you're a pacifist.
Great. Remember, your flashlight drains power, so switch it off when you don't need it.
Once again, she says drains power, but of course it drains power. It drains some flashlight power in the top right, but did they at one time mean suit power?
Welcome to the Black Mesa target range, where you will receive training in firing a weapon, reloading, and firing the attached grenade launcher. Please pick up your weapon and advance to the firing station.
Okay, one thing I want to talk real quick about weapons. This is becoming a much longer Let's Play than I thought it was going to be just for the Training Room. Weapons with secondary fire is another really unique thing. I mean, this is the primary fire, and then the AR-2 is the secondary fire. Is another really unique thing to video games at this time. In Quake, there was a mission pack, I'm not sure which one, but there was a mission pack that added secondary fire to weapons. Essentially it was just a second weapon, and they reskinned it, and it had a special firing ability, and you had to switch between them by hitting, like, the MP5 is 3, so if I hit 3, I'd be primary, and if I hit 3 again, I'd be secondary. That's how it works in Quake. But in this, they just bound it to left mouse and right mouse. So once again, Valve really pioneering something that we're quite used to nowadays in FPSs.
You'll have to hit every target in order to complete the course. But if you miss the first time, don't worry. It will come around again. Try to reload during pauses rather than waiting to run out of ammunition at a critical time. To fire your grenade launcher, use your alternate fire button. Certain targets will break only when hit by grenades. Commencing sequence in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Where is it? What the hell? Oh, right. And there's a...
Congratulations. You have completed the Black Mesa target range. Please advance to the next area.
A couple things I want to say about the target range. First thing, you can definitely kill that rat and he gives into infinite pieces, which is awesome. Secondly, that the target range is a really interesting introduction to stereo sound. A lot of people think of it as just simply shooting the things, all done, there we go, I shoot a grenade and I'm done. But really what it's doing is it's allowing you to understand how to use your ears in Half-Life, which is a very big portion of the game, which wasn't a big portion of the games before it. So, I mean, you don't hear the stereo sound because you're watching a YouTube video, but I heard it. So when I heard the target over this way, I knew it was over on my right. And it's Valve subtly, but very effectively, teaching you a mechanic very indirectly, while teaching you another mechanic. They're great at doing that. They do that throughout all their games, which is something that we see within the first 5 minutes of Half-Life 1. The dude in the video, Portal Storm, makes a good point about this bit. In Decay, you actually revisit this area. You end up going down there, which you'll see in the Decay Let's Play. But we'll talk about that more when we get to Decay.
Your HEV suit monitors blood oxygen levels, warning you when you need to find an air supply. As you swim through this course, your oxygen levels will begin to drop. At the midpoint, you will be given an opportunity to surface for air.
Alright, so this is a swimming course. Swimming is a big part of Half-Life 1 and Half-Life 2. So let's go ahead and take a dip. One thing, I have so much to say about all these games, and I'm so sorry for boring you all, is water. Water is cool for two reasons, and it's really interesting to look at from Valve's development standpoint. Sometimes the water is transparent, and sometimes the water isn't. And for me, it's interesting to look at when Valve decides to make water transparent and when they decide to not make it transparent. As you can see in the training course, it's solid. You can't see through it. You can't see what's below you. I mean, there could be an ichthyosaur down there. You don't know. But in some other areas, in fact, in areas where there are ichthyosaurs, you can see through the water. So, and it's a feature that they have in the game. So you wonder why, like, water doesn't look like this. Give me a break. This looks like, I don't know, like silly putty. So why didn't they make it look a little bit more realistic? Anyway, so in we go. Hello. So we can swim up for air.
Catch your breath. You will see the blood oxygen indicator on your suit's heads-up display returning to its previous level. You are free to swim on to the end of the course.
So we'll head on through. Cool pipes.
This is the charging unit for your hazardous environment suit. When you are running low on power, step up to any charger and press your use key. Your suit will recharge gradually until the charge unit is depleted. Individual batteries may also be used to charge your suit.
So we've already been introduced to batteries, which I think is a mistake on Valve's part. But the chargers here are on the wall. Just charge it up to 100. There you go. Ready to go. Cool beans.
If you pass through fire or steam, you will see a heat damage icon lighting up. Directional indicators at the center of your display show you where damage is coming from.
So there's a lot for me to say about this, because it's really all about unreleased content in Half-Life 1. But first, let's do it. As you can see, there's traps here. So this one burns you. You can see the fire icon in the bottom left. This one also burns you. This one just explosion damage. But there's a lot more different types of damage.
Proximity to radiation activates the Geiger counter and radiation display. Biohazards are also indicated with a luminous icon.
Okay, so like I said, there's a lot of different icons as well that can hurt you, like the biohazard symbol there. And then there's like a poison one. There's all sorts of really cool stuff, but the most interesting bit is if you go through the FGD, which is the entity thing that allows you to make maps in Half-Life. There's items like antidote and a couple other unused items in those FGDs that have a lot to do with environmental damage. So once again, it asks the question whether or not Valve's planning on doing something like if you get poisoned, you can only be healed if you find the antidote throughout Half-Life 1. Really interesting things like that. But instead, nope, there's nothing like that. Environmental damage just affects you while you're in the environment. There's drowning, there's burning, there's poison, there's radioactive, all sorts of really cool
Please
stuff.
advance
Fire.
to the next area.
I think I said that. Burning. One thing about elevators as well. You'll notice that elevators with buttons that light up never actually... I mean, that elevator just seemed like it moved, right? But it never moves. The ones with the buttons that light up. And the reason for that is because in Half-Life 1, until there was an engine update by like Spirit of Half-Life and the Paranoia engine, a brush couldn't have multiple states. So a brush couldn't be a button with a toggleable texture and also be an elevator which moves up and down. I hope you guys really understand that and follow that. So you'll notice all elevators with buttons inside that, you know, light up like this, always have a level change. Always. And we're not actually moving, it's just doing this whole animation, doing the sound, vibrating and stuff, and then doing clicking, so that you think you're moving. And the reason for that is probably because they didn't want to make the maps too big, but also because these things can't move with the elevator. So that's cool.
Lead a security guard into the next room. He will let you back into the transit system. You must approach a guard and press your use key. He will follow you until you face him and press the use key again.
This is my favorite bit in the training course. First off, because you can get soda. Or pop, as us Canadians call it. And it actually replenishes your health. Like drinking tons and tons of cans of soda is good for you. Right? And you can just drink it all down. Like I've drunk like 20 cans of soda right now. I'd be exploding. Anyway, you'll see this throughout Half-Life 1 as well. And also you can break them. And then soda cans come out. It's really cool. Isn't that fun? Isn't that a really cool feature? I like it. But anyway, here they're supposed to teach you about the follow mechanic, which is also, I mean, obviously it's an incredibly new feature to any FPS of its time. And you bring them to this thing, and there's a little sequence generator, or a sequence detector here, and then when the guard walks into the sequence detector, it toggles this animation, he stops following you. But the reason this is my favorite bit is Valve even planned on this. Who doesn't like a little live-action battle in their training course? Isn't that awesome? I just killed everybody, and I got ammo. That's so badass. Good job, Valve.
Press your use key to engage the train. Press your forward and backward keys to increase or decrease the speed of the train. Press your use key again to disengage from the train.
Alright, so these trains are the bane of the on-the-rail sequence, which anybody who would argue that there's a bad part in Half-Life, they would say it's on a rail. Just a terrible, terrible chapter. And it's all about these god-forsaken trains, whatever you want to call
Congratulations
it.
on completing the Black Mesa
So there you go.
Hazard course.
We've finished.
You are now fully certified for use of the HEP Mark IV pistol.
And there you have it. That is the Half-Life 1 training course, and that is the end of episode 1 of this Let's Play. Thanks for tuning in, and tune in for episode 2, where we play through the beginning chapter of Half-Life 1. Thanks. Bye. Oh, and I promise, I promise that the next episode of the beginning chapter of Half-Life 1 won't be just a boring dram ride.